are alternative voices in Parliament. So let me be clear, the people of Sengkang have shown their true grit by casting the bets and laying the lots with the Workers' Party. And I can sincerely say that on our part, we have tried to reward all of you for your faith in us by giving our very best in Parliament and in this town. Over the past 5 years, your Sengkang MPs have responded to the call of duty and held the government to account. These include big national issues, like what happened in the Allianz AIA deal, how COVID-19 was being handled, how our NRIC numbers were being compromised, and when we will fix the scourge of scams and fraud. But we have also spoken up on matters that ring close to the hearts of the people of Sengkang. We've asked how we can mitigate the roar of jet overflights, why there are no lifts for certain overhead bridges in Rivervale and Anchorvale, if we can increase bus services in Compassvale, and whether child and after-school care in our town is enough. The numbers, they speak for themselves. We have posed 420 such questions over the past 5 years. And the average PAP backbencher, 150. We have also delivered on average more speeches, again on issues of national and local concern, than the average PAP MP. More than 100 from us compared to about 60 by them. Sengkang Town Council has submitted more than 100 project proposals every year for everything from senior citizen corners to playgrounds and fitness equipment to community gardens and landscaping projects and, of course, covered walkways. Last year, we topped all town councils in Singapore, proposing 245 projects. And if you want, do you want to guess how many the grassroots advisor-led CCCs, those that our opponents here in Sengkang led, submitted for each year? I want to dive deeper about some issues that we have raised in Parliament that are especially important for the people of Sengkang. We have called for smaller class sizes because we know when teachers are able to devote more of their time and attention to a smaller number of students, they can spend more time on instruction and less on classroom management. They can ensure that our kids understand what they are being taught. They can make sure that our classrooms are places of learning, not just attendance. The government likes to say that our numbers aren't bad, that our pupil-teacher ratios compare favorably with other advanced countries, and our students' achievements is better than elsewhere. But this is just playing with statistics, which are flattered by our larger number of specialized subjects. Parents like you and I know better. When our kids are squeezed into classrooms of 30 or more, shortfalls in their understanding are made up by extra tuition, either by themselves or by paid private tutors. We also know that families are strong when parents are at home, rather than working all the time just to make ends meet. That is why we have called for childcare leave to be offered on a per-child basis, and also for care leave to be given to primary caregivers when they have elderly parents staying with them at home. Let me close by asking you to imagine a world where there is no opposition in Parliament. Have you ever wondered what that would be like? Fewer piercing questions that hold the government to account. Only a fraction of the number of speeches raising issues that matter to you as parents, workers, and families. No opposing votes, even when the government chooses to pass controversial laws that deeply affect your well-being. Do you want to vote in another 4 men and women in white who are bound by groupthink that the government will either cannot or will not fight for your voice to be heard? Or do you want 4 people who not only feel the struggles you feel as a sandwich generation in one of the most expensive cities in the world? 4 who will speak up for your interests and stand up to government that hasn't sufficiently understood your challenges as a worker in an ultra-competitive society. 4, who will fight tooth and nail for policies that matter to you and your family. The Workers' Party Sengkang team has been working for you and working for Singapore for the past 5 years. We are proud of our record and we want to keep working for you. Let us work for you again. Work for the future of your family and your children. Work for the Workers' Party.
Thank you, Jamus. And of course, we have our next Workers' Party candidate for the Sengkang GRC, Pritam
Good evening, fellow Singaporeans, voters of Sengkang GRC. It has been 10 years since we last met on the rally field. It's good to be back. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Pritam Singh, and together with Louis, Jamus, and Mohaimin, we are the Workers' Party team for Sengkang GRC. 10 years ago, I stood on the rally stage, much like this one for the very first time, and faced a sea of faces, much like tonight. Then, the world was a very different place for me. 10 years ago, I was single. I had no children. Yet even then, I told Singaporeans that I decided to step up as a 32-year-old despite the fears of being fixed. I said then that we must play our role to create a Singapore where our children are not weighed down by the pressure to succeed at all costs. Today, 10 years later, I have 3 lovely young boys, and they are my reason for being. And 10 years later, I feel even stronger than ever that today there is reason for us to be here to step up to work for Singapore. 10 years ago, GST was at 7%. Today, it's at 7 plus 1 plus 1, 9%. 10 years ago, our population was at 5.5 million. Today, we are already over 6 million. And more importantly, 10 years ago, Sengkang GRC did not exist. But we are here today to ask you, our voters, to send us back into Parliament for a second term. Alongside Jamus and Louis, it has been a privilege of our lives to have served as a team to be MPs for Sengkang GRC. In the small hours of the morning of 11th July 2020, in a speech that I made after the official results were in, I promised loud and clear to our residents in Sengkang GRC, no matter who you voted for, we will work for all of you. That we do in Parliament. The 3 WP MPs from Sengkang GRC in the last term were amongst the most active in Parliament, and we have raised many issues that matter to you, matter to Singapore. But there is so much more to be done. The path ahead of us is a challenging one, as we are up against a huge opponent. But we will continue to fight for every vote in every constituency. We cannot allow our gains to be reversed. We must make gains. 5 years ago, in the middle of a global pandemic, voters in Sengkang GRC took a huge leap of faith in the Workers' Party to work for you, to be your voice in Parliament. And that is why we are here tonight, why all of us are here together on this rally field. Because we have a vision for Singapore. We want to see a Singapore with diverse voices, heard in Parliament, representing what you have to say. We want to see a Singapore where our children are able to thrive, where our children can speak out responsibly without fear, to tell the government what they want their Singapore to be. The power to create this Singapore is in your hands. This future is not only shaped by the PAP, the Workers' Party, or any political party. It is one that is shaped by you. To step up and vote for a better Singapore. Join us, step up to vote for the Workers' Party, for us to continue working for Singapore. Thank you.
Our one and only Secretary General and candidate of Jamus, Pritam Singh.
Dear voters of Sengkang GRC, Ongol GRC, and Jalan Kayu SMC. First Workers' Party rally. The world is changing. After the Prime Minister made his statement on the imposition of the US tariffs, I responded in Parliament, noting that de-risking and decoupling in the context of US-China relations have been on the cards for some years now. The US government has accelerated these forces through a trade war against China. Fortunately, some weeks after the start of these seismic moves, it is clear that despite the economic aggressiveness and unpredictability of the US, the rest of the world still believes in free trade.
Yes.
Where does this leave Singapore, whose trade flows are 3 times our GDP? The Workers' Party's statement on US tariffs made the point that despite far-reaching changes to the international system, there will be opportunities that we will have to seek out. Being a little red dot has its advantages. We are smaller, we can move faster. But with this uncertain economic climate, should Singaporeans still vote Workers' Party MPs into Parliament? Certainly yes. Let me offer a few reasons. A parliament with a more rational, respectable and responsive WPMP will not hamper Singapore. The Workers' Party has been stress-tested when Singapore is in crisis. What did we do when Singapore was fighting COVID? The PAP said COVID was the crisis of a generation. When the Workers' Party MPs laid out in Parliament what we did during COVID, even the PAP acknowledged how the Workers' Party supported the national effort. The Workers' Party are a force for good. We coalesce as one people with Singaporeans in the face of danger. The Workers' Party has proven itself to be a loyal opposition in Parliament. Loyal not to the PAP, loyal to Singapore and the people of Singapore. We will do the same as Singapore navigates this long transition to a new world order. But more than just supporting the government if needed, Workers' Party MPs will also provide independent ideas to break through the groupthink of the PAP. The next few years may well provide the opportunity to make structural improvements to Singapore's economy. For example, lesser reliance on foreign workers and more opportunities for Singaporean workers in foreign regions. And this is regardless whether our workers are in jobs that require the use of their hands, their hearts, or their heads, or all three. There will also be opportunities to better protect Singaporean workers from retrenchment too. My fellow Singaporeans, the Workers' Party will always be on the lookout to improve the livelihood of all Singaporeans. Voters in Sengkang, Punggol, and Jalan Kayu, the reality is this. When you have an opposition in parliament, your alternative voice, your views are heard by the government. There is pressure, real pressure, on the PAP to act, particularly if the views advanced by the Workers' Party are shared by all Singaporeans. Without an opposition, the PAP can just demand that PAP MPs do not ask questions on subjects that the PAP leadership deem too sensitive for them, or to only be discussed behind closed doors. And the PAP whip can be imposed so that all PAP MPs vote along government lines, even if they disagree. This could be a real problem for all of us and our future generations. We cannot be passive citizens. We must be active participants in our democracy. And we have to be fighters when we need to be. Just like what the people in Hougang have taught us. One PAP candidate, when introducing himself, called Hougang voters fighters. He is correct. They are fighters. But he called them fighters so that he could say he was also a fighter like them. He wanted to borrow their glory. But he forgot to ask himself one question. How did the people of Hougang become fighters? They did not become fighters by choice. So what made them fighters? They had the iron in their spine to vote opposition and vote for the Workers' Party. They cast their vote in favor of a more balanced political system when Parliament was practically all white. And then, what happened? The PAP took away their wet market. The PAP took away their bus routes. The PAP put them last in the queue for lift upgrading. And the PAP even dangled upgrading carrots worth millions of dollars in front of them. But what have the voters of Hougang done election after election? They have been fighters. They have shown even more iron. And continue to vote for the Workers' Party. My fellow Singaporeans, the PAP treated Hougang voters like a political football with taxpayer dollars. What this shows is how easily the PAP can take away the dignity and self-respect of all Singaporeans. But the voters of Hougang said no! We have pride and we believe in our democracy. This is the PAP that my generation and I will never ever forget. And if we don't have more fully elected opposition MPs in the House, no one can rule out a return of such a PAP, something which it is fully capable of turning back into. When elections come, the PAP brings out labubu, teddy bears, ice cream, fish, eggs, and the latest, toothbrushes. But if the PAP wins big and you have a parliament with only opposition NCMPs, the PAP won't need to listen to Singaporeans. The PAP will claim to have a strong mandate, by which it means it can do whatever it wants. One of the things that the PAP did recently was to turbocharge inflation by raising GST during a time when inflation was already raging. How could it do that? You do not hike GST when inflation is surging. Your people suffer more. But the PAP dominates our political scene. It can make such serious errors of judgment in timing and then give out teddy bears, ice cream and toothbrushes. So, what can you do about it? How do you show that you disagree with the PAP's poor judgment? I couldn't have said it better myself. A vote for the Workers' Party is your instrument of change. The more percentage vote share the WP gains and the more seats the WP wins, the more the PAP will have to be responsive to your cost of living concerns and other concerns. We need a more balanced political system, not where the PAP controls 90% of the seats with only 60% of the vote. Remember, the Workers' Party is not even contesting 1/3 of the seats. There is no way we will form the next government. The PAP will certainly govern for the next 5 years. So give Singapore a chance to build, to grow a more balanced political system. It is the best insurance for the future, for ourselves, for our families. Voters of Sengkang GRC, Punggol GRC, Jalan Kayu SMC, let me emphasize again the reasons why you can confidently vote for the Workers' Party even during these uncertain times. Number one, we do the right thing for Singapore and Singaporeans in times of crisis like COVID. Number two, we counter the groupthink of the PAP and suggest alternative ideas to better the lives of all Singaporeans. Number three, we have proposed a concrete, realistic vision in our manifesto and have not resorted to motherhood statements like the PAP. Number four, we will continue to pressure the government in Parliament by being your voice and raising your concerns. Number five, we are working towards a balanced political system to check the PAP and prevent it from acting however it wishes. The Workers' Party will be the loyal opposition for Singapore. We are all invested in Singapore's success. We promise to play our part in building a proud and successful Singapore for all of you, for all our people. For the Workers' Party, working for Singapore. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to our rally. It is 9:56. I only have 4 more minutes. We have to shut the rally down at 10 p.m. But I have a very important request to all of you. There are a lot of people here at this rally site. The field is very muddy. Look at the person on your left and right. His safety, her safety is your responsibility. If you can take this responsibility upon yourself, all of us in the Workers' Party will really appreciate this. Leave the rally site with not even one piece of litter. Let's go home safely to our families, and I'll see you again at the next rally. All the best. Vote for the Workers' Party, and let's all work for Singapore. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We have come to the end of the Workers' Party rally. But this is not the last one, so please disperse safely. Please look out for our rally in the news and our social media. At this point,